Welcome to the Club Talk Podcast, brought to you by GolfPay, where customer experience is the product. Now on with our show.
Welcome everybody to the GolfPay Podcast, and my name is Dale Merritt. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for GolfPay, and today's topic is going to be about the modern golfer or the modern consumer, and all the ways that the modern consumer likes to do business. Also, we want to talk about how GolfPay fills that need, of course. And today we actually have one of our customers we're going to be talking to on the podcast as a guest. And he has been using the platform for about 6 months or so. He's the head golf professional at the courses at Waters Creek in Plano, Texas, just outside of Dallas. His name is Matt Sipko, and we're going to give him a call. Hey, Matt, how are you doing?
I'm good, Dale. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you joining me today on the podcast. How's the weather holding up in your neck of the woods with all the floods?
You know, we're in the clear. We were supposed to get some of the external bans from that storm, and we didn't. Everything kind of went east of us. So we didn't get any rain, but you know, sometimes in golf the threat of rain is just like rain. But we stayed clear of it. Thank goodness.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I was watching the news, and yeah, it looks like it's a mess there in Houston.
Yeah. I feel that that poor city is taking it in the mouth over and over again with all of the rain they get down there.
Yeah. Well, you know, you guys are just for the audience sake, you're just in outside of Dallas and Plano, right?
Yeah, we're just north of Dallas, in Plano, just south of McKinney. You know, kind of northeast Dallas is how I would refer to it. Just northeast of Dallas. Yeah. Gotcha.
Well, the topic today is the modern consumer, as we spoke before about, and all the different ways the consumer is doing business. And, of course, the golf industry is trying to adapt to that. And, you know, I wanted to bring you on because there's a few reasons. One is you're a customer, and you're using some of GolfPay's technology, but you're also somewhat new to the industry, and I think the perspective that you have, I think, is unique in that, you know, you're not, you know, for the lack of a better term, you know, people that have been in the industry a long, long time, sometimes they sort of fall into the forest through the trees trap, if you know what I mean.
I do.
So it's very interesting, your perspective. So I would like to, if you wouldn't mind, just give us a little bit of a background on your career path. How'd you end up in golf, and where'd you come from?
Yeah, so I grew up as a competitive gymnast and golfed casually, you know, with family and friends and things like that. In 2013, I was coaching full-time, a lot of private coaching, a lot of classes, things like that, and I just kind of realized I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life, and so I went back to school at the Golf Academy of America and got my degree in golf course management as well as teaching. And kind of started my golf career from there. So yeah, like you said, I'm relatively new to the golf industry. I started working in the golf industry in 2013 while I was in school. I got my first assistant job in 2015 and worked there for a year and a half, and then got this head golf professional job. Actually, 3 years as of tomorrow will be my hire date at the courses at Waters Creek. So I've been a head golf professional now for 3 years. And
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's a challenging job, and I embrace every bit of it. And you know, being able to wake up every morning and drive to a golf course versus somewhere you don't really want to be makes a big difference in your life.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine how that would be. So I wanted to get a little bit into what your clientele is like, your demographics of your you know, people that play your course every day, and a little bit about your golf course.
Okay. So as with most golf courses, you know, our typical clientele is your retired male that's a casual golfer that now has more time on their hands, so maybe they're playing one round a week versus one round a month. That's our bulk of what we see out here. Now, that being said, because of our area in where the golf course is, we're seeing a lot of businesses move into this general area, move to Frisco, move to Plano, move to Richardson. And these aren't just, your mom and pop businesses. We're talking places like Toyota and Liberty Mutual, State Farm. So major corporations that have a lot of young professionals that work in those companies, and they're all moving to this area. And so now we're starting to see an influx of your 25 to 40 single young professional, both men and women. We're starting to see more women because they have that extra disposable income. And golf, in my opinion, is growing in interest again, finally. It's taken years and years, but I feel like golf is on an upward trajectory for the first time in 14 to 15 years.
Well, I don't know that everyone shares that perspective. There's some courses out there that's struggling.
I know, and I'll tell you why, in my opinion, again, is that, like you said earlier, with the guys that have been in the industry forever, that have habits of trusting that they're doing things the way they have always done things, and it worked 20 years ago, it's got to work again at some point. Well, I don't think that's the case. I think that we've got to figure out a better way to market our product and to get our product in front of more people and more of the right people in order to drive business to our facility.
I absolutely agree, and definitely something that we continually preach is that, if things are going well, you still need to always try to be a little bit ahead of the curve. But if things are not going well, there may be more reasons for it than just, a downward trend in participation. It just simply means, in a lot of cases, that it's just based on how people are doing things now in terms of, new digital experiences, how they communicate with your business and so on, has evolved very quickly. And that brings us to really what GolfPay is all about. And you came on board with GolfPay, I think around 5 or 6 months ago, so not too long ago. And I would like to, if you wouldn't mind, just share with the audience, your experience in using GolfPay and how GolfPay has helped you, cater to the kind of golfers that you want showing up at the course and obviously spending money.
Yeah, the easiest way I can describe it is, I have meetings weekly, monthly with, my sales reps. My title is sales rep, my Under Armour. And ever since we got on the platform, I brought them in and I said, hey, I just want to show this to you because I think it's so cool. And I'll text the number to our golf course, and all of a sudden we're going through the booking process on my phone without even having to open up an app. And they just find it astounding and amazing. And we're starting to show this. I'll walk around the golf shop if we're busy and there's a little bit of a line. I'll walk around the golf shop and show some of the guys that are waiting in line, hey guys, if you just do this, you can go ahead and book through your text message app that's on every single smartphone. You don't need to download anything. All you need to do is put this phone number in your contact list. And all of a sudden, at 11 o'clock at night, if you're with a buddy at a bar and you want a tea time, all you got to do is text me. And when people learn about it, people learn about it, they realize how easy it is.
Absolutely.
Then when they get to the point where they can then check in 2 hours before their round and add a bucket of balls and not even worry about it, then that's even better. And I'm to the point where we're starting to see an increase in GolfPay platform reservations. And I'm now starting to think operationally that we might start having an area where our cart staging is. Those are our GolfPay carts with customers' names and keys and their buckets of balls already in their cart, so they can just go straight to their golf cart.
Yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant idea. That's where everything is evolving to. If you look at other industries, other businesses, mobile ordering, everybody wants to have as much of the transaction completed, the shopping, and of course the transaction completed before they even arrive somewhere now, just to save time. And that's kind of a built-in expectation of consumers these days. So taking that approach, I think, is going to pay huge dividends. I think promoting the service in that kind of white glove way, I think, is only going to draw more attention to your course, and people just spend more money when they're having a better experience. It's just how it is. So
yeah, I agree
good
with
that you're doing that.
Yeah, and one of the big goals that I have with our facility, and I hope that others in the industry would share this thought, is it's great to bring in new golfers. That's always fantastic. It's great to have somebody come out and try your golf course for the first time. Well, and that's one round in the books that you get from that one individual. What I want that one individual who came out to try my golf course for the first time to come back 20 more times that year. That's where we get to be successful.
Well, when I look at your reporting, which I know we send over to you from time to time, but I pay particular attention to reporting that's associated with golf courses that are following our best practices. And of course, we're always trying to make our best practices better and better. But we look at traffic, we look at clicks, we look at all of that stuff. And then we have software that allows us to help us really articulate that information into some solutions that golf courses can apply. But when we look at your data, we see everything, all the trends going in the right direction, or one way or the other. What's interesting is that even though there's, you mentioned text messaging, so of course we're doing a lot of text marketing on your behalf. Right. We're seeing some very interesting things where you would expect that if you get a text message every week from a golf course, that might get annoying. What we're finding is that if you do it right, the perfect number of them is between 4 and 6 of those per month. And we're seeing the opt-out rate very, very low. And that's good, because that means your rate of opt-ins versus your opt-outs is really, really strong. Your opt-in ratio is actually increasing since we started doing the text marketing campaigns for you a few months ago. So that's a pretty cool thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see a big spike every time one of those messages goes out. We'll see that those 2-for-1s get purchased very quickly. It's quite surprising, but I love it every time I see it. It's a great way to attract people to the platform. And what I love about it too, Dale, is that when you get that message and you click on that link and it takes you to the page and you find a day you want to play, well, somebody may already beat you to those 2-for-1s, so now you're just going to have to go ahead and book it anyways. Like, you're already there, right? So let's go ahead and book it and come out and pay the golf course.
That's exactly right. That's what those 2-for-1s are designed to do. They're like little digital breadcrumbs, just to keep people coming back to those direct channels. But you have not just the texting channel, but you have the IVR channel. Looks like you have pretty much all the channels turned on. And I'm looking at your reservations. You're getting reservations in all those channels. So good job.
Yeah, we are, and people like the IVR system as well. I actually just talked to a gentleman today who actually needed to cancel his tee time, and which is fine. And what I noticed, and I haven't seen this in the past, and it may have been me not paying attention, but when I went to cancel it on the GolfPay platform, it immediately dropped off my tee sheet.
Right. Yeah, everything's real time. That's great.
It was unbelievable. And like I said, I hadn't seen that before. What I've done before is cancel it on my tee sheet and then cancel it on the platform. But doing it the other way, it immediately removed it from my tee sheet, which is great, because then 10 minutes later I sold that tee time.
Yeah, absolutely. The golfer has the ability to cancel the reservations from their account, and of course, you can do the same thing through GolfPay Connect. Right. But I appreciate the time you spent with me today. I know how busy you are, and that means a lot to our company, so I appreciate that. I would like, if you wouldn't mind, Matt, is tell us a little bit more about your facility. It seems like you have just an awesome facility out there, and I'd like to learn more about that myself. And I travel down in Texas quite a bit and definitely want to come down and play sometime. But maybe you could share with the audience, a little bit about the signature hole if you have one, and just about your facilities in general.
We do, yeah. We're one of the most unique golf facilities in Texas, maybe in the United States. We've got 3 different golf courses. We've got an 18-hole championship length golf course with 5 sets of tees on it. We've got a 9-hole executive golf course with 6 par 3s and 3 par 4s. Again, 3 sets of tees on that one. And then we've also got a 6-hole, I refer it to as a pitch and putt, but it's holes between 40 and 100 yards. A couple of wedges and a putter will get you around there. And then we've also got a very large driving range with about 50 spots for about 50 stalls. A great short game practice area with 3 separate greens, 5 bunkers, a bunch of different lies, bunch of different angles, hills, uphill lie, downhill lie, side hill lie, and 2 very large practice putting greens. On the 18-hole golf course, I would say our signature hole is number 6. It's a very tight, slight dogleg left par 4, shorter in length, about 370 yards, 380 yards from the back. But the second shot is what gets you. It's a force carry of over 100 yards, an elevation change of about 50 feet uphill. And every time somebody asks me about it, I always tell them to take an extra club from the fairway. They never believe me. They always end up in that creek. So
that would be me. That would be me. I would be that guy.
I mean, I've played in groups, and I say, and they'll say, "What's the yardage?" I'll say 140. They'll say, "Perfect." I grab their 140 club and hit it in the creek. I tell them, guys, it's 140, but it always plays 150 or it always plays 160. So it's a great little hole. It was unchanged from the renovation, which is great. It's been the same since 1983, I think, is when they built the golf course. It stayed there the whole time. They didn't change it at all when they did the redesign in 2013. And people come back here, and they always remember what they shot on that hole. I can tell you that much.
So tell, if you wouldn't mind, give us your website address so anybody listening to this, and if they want to play the course, they can check you out.
Yeah, we're at waterscreekgolf.com, and Waters is spelled with 2 T's. And you can find us on Facebook as well.
All right, Matt, we really appreciate it. I really appreciate you taking time on Friday, and have a great weekend. Go Cowboys.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, bye-bye.